Going live on YouTube now. Okay, we should be live.
Awesome. So should we just go ahead and start presenting now or wait a couple minutes? Go ahead.
Yes, I would wait a few minutes to get viewers in.
Okay.
Looks like you have 25 right now. Yeah, maybe give it a minute or two and then go off. Thanks.
Hello, everybody. We're just going to wait for a couple more people to pop in so we can try and present the information to the most people that are coming. Maybe we'll wait like 3 more seconds.
Sounds good.
I don't know if anyone can hear my dog snoring. Maggie. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and get started with whoever's here. We're going to go ahead and start off by introducing ourselves. My name is Lindsay Everhart, and I'm the senior class president this year.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lily Shermer. I'm the senior class vice president this year alongside Lindsay. Lindsay and I both provided our email addresses, so please feel free to reach out if you have any questions regarding what we're talking about today. We want you to know that we're here for you and we want to represent you all.
And I'm Alex Chapman. I'll introduce myself as well. I don't have a nice picture of me on this slide though, but I'm Alex Chapman. I'm one of the assistant principals here. Many of you might know me as the assistant principal in House 1. And I'm here to help support this. And thank you, Lily and Lindsay, for taking the time to do this for the seniors today. And at the end, I'll be answering some of the questions that came up on the survey that went to a lot of you. So I'll do my best to answer those. Take it away, Lily and Lindsay.
Alrighty, so like Mr. Chapman said, we have, or you guys were sent a survey. So if any questions, concerns, or anything pop up that are urgent, or you find needing answered, you can go ahead and fill that out, and there will be a Q&A portion at the end that one of us will be able to answer. But we're going to go ahead and start with giving some spirit updates. Something exciting we have is a virtual Spirit Week. That's going to happen the week of March 29th to April 2nd. This is going to include some pre-filmed in-person games, as well as virtual games that you guys are going to be able to play in your own classes. So points and participation for everyone will be able to be calculated, and we're going to kind of come up with the winner and try to make it as normal as possible. But speaking of normal, the Leadership Spirit Commission is working hard to try and plan, something in person, obviously outdoors on campus for the very end of the year. So hopefully we have like the most open restrictions we can, but of course we want to make sure to, be completely transparent and nothing's official as restrictions, and COVID concerns are constantly changing. So something to look forward to, but also nothing's promised.
Also, just a quick reminder, we still have plenty of senior class spirit t-shirts to give to you guys. So to do so, you need to go to the LGHS web store, and they're each $15. So LGHS web store, and you're good to buy a t-shirt.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you cut out. You're good.
Can you hear me? Oh my God, technology. I know we've all been there. So we're going to go into some senior specific updates. Myself and Lily, and we definitely sympathize and feel the disappointment of how this year's gone. I know I had really high hopes building up to our senior year. But we want to let you guys know that we are and have been trying our very best to produce the events that we want and keep traditions going that we deserve. But here are some things that you can look forward to. We have our senior prom date planned for May 15th. And then the lip dub is also being planned by leadership, and the date for that is to be determined. And then other things that are in plan and review would be senior week, graduation, and grad night. And then lastly, for attendance at sports games, I know we all want to go and support our peers, but until the CDPH says that more than family members can go, we're just going to have to support via live stream, which is fun. I did that on Friday for a little, but we just want to let you know that we're trying, and there is going to be like senior priority because everyone, including ourselves, know that, you know, this is our last year to get it, and we're going to try our best to get there. And then adding on to prom, it's that special time where you can nominate your friends and peers to be part of the prom court. And this is taking place since we didn't have the Cohort or homecoming court. So we're going to do it now that things are a little bit more open. And in order to nominate your peers, you need to fill out a form that can be found on the Class of 2021 Canvas homepage. It's very simple. You can just locate it there, and reminders, you must use your school email. So if it seems like the form's not working and malfunctioning, just try maybe re-logging in with your school email and it should work. And make sure to get on that one quick because the nominations end this Friday, March 26th.
All right, we've had a lot of questions about senior parking permits as we're going into phase 3A and 3B. So before I get into how to do this, just know that all this information has been provided to you through email. So check the Friday weekly emails and just administration emails, because I'm sure this information will be in there. So in order to get a free parking permit this year, the first thing you're gonna want to do is complete the parking permit transaction. And this is located on the LGHS web store, also where you can get class t-shirts. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is print and complete the LGHS student parking permit application and make sure it's for the 2020-2021 school year. Once you have those two things, you can receive your parking permit anytime, either Wednesday, March 24th or 31st from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And this will be taking place on Chicago Avenue. So in order to get a parking permit, again, you need to do those 3 steps and also bring your driver's license, your LGHS student ID for this year, and the vehicle you'll be parking at school. Again, do not feel overwhelmed with all this information. It has all been emailed to you.
Okay, so now we're going to transition a little bit away from the events and the leadership side of things and go more into the re-entering and reopening, starting off with phase 3A. And we're just going to start by giving you the purpose. And the purpose is to get students back on campus and kind of work out the details and make sure, you know, when we go to phase 3B, it's going to work rather smoothly, we hope. Some important dates to note are tomorrow and the following Wednesday. Cohort A, which if you're attending phase 3, you should have already been assigned. Cohort A, you guys are going to be on campus from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. in your first period class. And cohort B will be from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, and then for 3B, this is going to take place April 12th. So that is that Monday right after spring break. So you have not received whether you're cohort A or B yet. You will receive that before you go off to spring break. But basically 3B is where if you're given cohort A, you'll go to school in person Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is a no school day, and then you'd be online for Thursday and Friday. If you're assigned cohort B, that sort of switches. So you're online Monday and Tuesday, doing all your classes remotely. Wednesday, you do not have school. And then Thursday and Friday, you'll be in person. So do not worry, you have not gotten your assignment yet. So do not check your emails, try to find that cohort assignment.
So this is kind of just a calendar visual of phase 3A, and you see in the red boxes, those are the 2 Wednesdays that this phase will take place. Like I said earlier, tomorrow will be, going to your first period, day 1, and then the following Wednesday would be day 2.
And then this is a very detailed schedule of what 3B is going to look like. I also want to mention, if you signed up for fully remote, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, you'll be attending all your classes virtually. But this is also in a presentation that the school has already emailed out, so you can look more in depth at that later at your own time.
So we're just going to go ahead and play a safety video that was created. This is going to kind of go into detail and give you a visual of what campus is going to look like. Even though we're seniors and we think know our way around, it's actually very different. I was surprised when I watched this. There's a lot of one-ways and things to take note of. So just watch and then hopefully it makes sense.
Oh, I remember this building. I can go to your English classes here. Actually, it's the one way that we have to go all the way around the building to get to those classes. Oh, let's go. If you have an art class, you're going to be right here. But if your history class is in the 500s, you're going to get up here. Follow me. Come in. Can you show me where my English class is? Of course, that's where we're going next. Is this the English building? Yeah, this is the only door we can see to the English building. Notice the sign from the ground. Make sure you follow all of the one-ways, especially when you're in the building. There are also some signs on the walls that show where to go to. If you go that way, you have a couple times of traffic. Make sure you follow all of the signs and go the right way to leave. Mr. Nestor, what are you doing? You're going the wrong way.
My classroom's right there.
Yeah, but it's a one-way. You have to go the other way.
All right, let's go. What's up, guys? This is actually a student-free zone over here, and unfortunately, none of our students can access this for now. If you do need to get an appointment with your counselors, you can do that through Zoom still, but when you come down from your English buildings, you have to either go out towards the math wing or down this ramp.
On the second or third floor, then you go up these stairs, and then when you leave, you go down the stairs on the other side of the building. Got it. So, what are the rules for the big open spaces like this? You pretty much want to stay on your side of the road, like trying to cross. Make sure you keep the distance from the road. Got it. And these buildings right here are the music building and the sign. Both of them you exit here and you exit back. Let's go check out the health office. We walk into the design building and turn left in the health office.
Hey guys, so one thing that's going to be new when you come onto campus is an app called Screener 19. You'll receive an email about this shortly, but I'll show you how it works. Come over here. So every day before you come to school, you're going to log on to the application Screener 19, and you're going to answer some questions. Make sure you're answering them as truthfully as possible. So maybe I'm coming to school for class, and then it's going to ask, have I been diagnosed with COVID-19? No, hopefully. In the last 24 hours, if I developed one or more of these symptoms, hopefully we're saying we have developed no symptoms. And then do we live in the same household? So we're answering these questions as honestly and truthfully as possible. And then once you press submit, you'll either get a green check or a red X. And this is what you're going to show to your teachers every single day.
When you finish with your design classes, make sure you go up these stairs, through the door, and down the stairs. You can either leave the parking lot or go to the class. If your science class is on the second floor, make sure you go this way all the way down. or other history classes, they'll be going this way, and it's also on both ways. After you finish with these classrooms right here, make sure you go up the ramp to leave. Don't go through it by perfectly, because that's also a one-way. When going through the business room, make sure you really pay attention to which places are one-ways. I think I'm still a little bit confused on how the flow of traffic is going to work, but I'm not afraid to ask for help, so I'll make sure to do that.
Okay, so I think I kind of get it now. I mean, the exit points, there's one going out towards the front lawn, one going out towards high school court, one that you can go to through the pool, and one that you can go to in between the D buildings, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the video. I know it was a bit confusing. Maybe it was a little bit blurry on your end, but now we're just going to go ahead and take a peek at the form and see if there's any questions, concerns, comments, whatever. And hopefully one of the three of us is able to answer them. So does someone have the form?
Yeah, I have the form up in front, so I can start to kind of ask the questions as they're written here in the form. And then luckily, I think Lily and Lindsay, you really covered a lot of the answers to some of the questions already. I want students just to kind of keep in mind also that it will be a little confusing at first. And that's really why we're going to take the time during 3A, which is starting tomorrow, Wednesday, the 24th. And then the other 3A is the following Wednesday, the 31st. That's when we're really going to try to on campus figure out all these one directional hallways and how this all works. It's okay if you're a little confused. There'll be lots of people reminding you of which way to go and all that. Please just do your best to follow the directions that we're all giving you, and we'll figure it out. And then when we come back from spring break in 3B, when it's a more traditional hybrid with more students and you're on campus for a longer amount of time, then hopefully you'll have all that kind of already figured out, and then 3B will run that much smoother. All right, so let me get to the Q&A here. Is it possible if you have already signed up to go back to what you don't have to? Okay, so I think this question is, if you signed up to, let's say, be in person for 3A, can you go back if you haven't, if you don't want to? Here's how the attendance is going to work. And this answers, I think, a couple of questions that I already read. Is if you signed up to be on campus for 3A or 3B, but you choose not to, and you have decided that you want to stay back at home for the remainder of the semester, or let's say just for the remainder of 3A, and then there's a parent survey that's already gone out about 3B, you can do so. You will not be marked absent if you attend your classes online, even if you have indicated that you wanted to be on campus for 3A. Okay, I hope that made sense. Now, we can't do the opposite though. If you have indicated through the survey for 3A that you are going to stay remote at home, you cannot volunteer to then just come on campus and join the class. Obviously, this has a lot to do with social distancing and how we can spread apart everybody out in the room. So just kind of keep in mind that if you are, if you're in class, and obviously with all of our one directional hallways, we're going to be very lenient about tardies and things like that, but please get to class on time. And then if you choose to stay home for one day in particular, that's fine. Just make sure that you're online with the rest of the students who are doing the class remotely. Let's see, how do I indicate that I would no longer like to attend 3A or 3B? If you want to change your mind completely and permanently that you're just going to stay home remotely for the rest of the semester, the best thing to do is to just give your guidance counselor an email and just say exactly that. They can go in on Aries and change your designation, and that would be fine. Now, what you can't do is the opposite, especially since 3A starts tomorrow. You can't change your mind and say, oh, I said I was going to be remote, but I really want to be on campus starting tomorrow. We don't have time to prepare for that. So the 3A cohorts are locked in place. The 3B cohorts are still being developed at this time. And remember, 3B starts right after spring break. Where do I find my classroom numbers? Well, there's a school, there's school maps on our the LGHS website. If many of you, if you're new to our school or new to a certain area of the campus that maybe you haven't been in before for whatever classes you're taking as a senior, it will be a little confusing. There'll be lots of adults around to help. Please ask. We're more than happy to answer your questions and help get you to where you need to go. Try using our school website first, though, because it does have a pretty comprehensive map that has classroom numbers on it. Let's see. Do we get a prom? Ooh, that's a good question. I wish I had a really perfect answer for all of you right now. Here's what I do know is things are changing rapidly in Santa Clara County. And I expect that we will, the announcement, if it hasn't already been made, that Santa Clara County will go into the orange tier today. That's my expectation. I could be wrong about that. And then we are expecting within 3 weeks to even go towards the yellow tier. So as COVID conditions improve, we have the greater opportunity to have more events and have different kind of larger groups on campus for different things. So what will that look like as far as proms? I don't know exactly how that will play out. I know there's been lots of ideas that have been kicked around about holding like an outdoor prom in different places on campus, really trying to maintain social distancing by having like dinner tables with certain small cohorts of students on the at these tables. A little bit of a different prom experience, but please know that we are working with our student leaders as well as everything that we can do to try to create the best prom experiences for both juniors and seniors. I really hope that we can have a senior prom that meets everybody's needs. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Will this change anything about advisory? That's a great question. It's obviously something you've seen my name attached to on Canvas with the advisory lessons. For 3A, you will continue to do Wednesday advisory, but there is no advisory teacher to go to have attendance taken. During the 3A hybrid, you simply are supposed to go and on a Wednesday you're gonna be in a class first period tomorrow, and then second period on the 31st, you're most likely going to be in class, or at least half of you will be in class during that time, during our traditional advisory time. So just go to your Canvas page, complete the advisory lessons on your own time, either on Wednesday or at any other time during that week. Okay, the advisory lessons will be there waiting for you. I've intentionally made the advisory lessons a little different during the 3A hybrid, just because we have a lot going on. So they're pretty light as far as content goes. I still want you to participate in them, and I still want you to complete them, but it's not going to maybe be the kind of heavy advisory topics that you're used to. Let's see, what will be the schedule when I return to campus? So Lily and Lindsay showed you the bell schedule for both 3A and 3B. Those are also in the information that has been emailed to you as well. And don't forget to keep checking our school website. That's going to have a ton of information for you to click on if you forget what the schedule is and when you're supposed to be where. Just continue to keep an eye out on our website. Parking permits, that was already covered by Lily and Lindsay. And please make sure that you have done those steps before you show up tomorrow between 10 and 1 in your car with all the stuff on Chicago Avenue. Now, if you recall from last year's Wildcat Days, I'm trying to remember if it was last year or 2 years ago, might have even been 2 years ago, we had a tent set up right behind the Math and World Language building on Chicago Avenue. So students who have all the paperwork and they've purchased, although it's free this year, but you've gone through ASB and you filled out the form, you get in your car that you're gonna get the sticker applied to, and you get in the long line at Chicago Avenue, and right behind the Math World Language building will be a tent. You'll see Mrs. Blumquist, you'll see me, you'll see a handful of different employees, and we're gonna meet with you, check over your information real fast, and then we will apply the parking sticker to the back of your windshield, okay? Now, will parking be available? That's always the big question at Los Gatos High School. Come early if you want a parking space. We have a lot more parking passes and a lot more seniors than we do parking spaces. I think you guys probably already know this. So if you want to park on campus, please get here early. If you show up 10 minutes before class starts, there's a very good chance you won't find a parking space. Okay, that's just the nature of our campus. What should we bring to class? I would bring, if it were me, I'd bring a backpack, I'd bring a notebook, I'd bring some pencils and pens. I would just be prepared. Who knows what your teachers are gonna give you at that time or expect you to do, but I think some basic supplies are more than sufficient for especially our 3A and 3B. And I'm sure your teachers will tell you after spring break what they expect you to start bringing daily to their classes as well. Another thing to keep in mind, I don't know if it was already covered, was food and drink are not allowed in classrooms due to COVID concerns. What you can bring is a water bottle, period. That's it. Please do not bring any other food or drink into any classroom during our hybrid schedules. Let's see. Will there be people to help freshmen find their classes? Yes, we'll be out there as much as possible. I know it's going to be confusing during 3A. People are going to be a little lost, and then also having to follow these one-directional hallways and corridors and everything. It's gonna be a little confusing at first. We're going to have a lot of staff out there doing our very best to help direct people to where they need to go. I don't want anybody to stress about that. Okay, that's in my opinion very low priority. We'll help you get to where you need to go. Don't worry about it if you're a minute or so late because maybe you don't know where your class is. Can you send the link to the safety video to my email? I'm guessing no to the email, but I'm also guessing that it will be available maybe on our school website for people to view.
I know Mr. Nespor, Lily, and myself have, we talked about putting this presentation sort of in a PDF. So all the slides and stuff, eventually, hopefully we'll get maybe tomorrow in class, we can get it done and get it on the campus homepage.
Great, thanks, Lindsay, that's helpful. How do we know what cohort we are in? That should have been emailed for the 3A. If you've chosen to be on campus, you should have already been notified what cohort you are in. Please check your email, as I think Lily might have shared in one of her slides about, we've already pushed that information out. For the 3B cohort, when we return from spring break, that has not been determined yet, but again, another email will be supplied to you and your family that tells you what cohort you're in. If you have no clue whatsoever and you've searched through your email and your inbox and your spam folder and you can't find that information, please contact your either house administrator office, house 1, house 2, or house 3, or contact your guidance counselor, because we could look it up on Aries pretty quick and just respond to a quick email with your designation. Are there rules about how many people can be in a bathroom at once? Yes, absolutely. You will find on every door that goes into a single space on this campus, you'll see something that's taped up to the door that says what the maximum occupancy is for that particular space, including bathrooms. Please be sure. Now it's difficult, right, to know how many people are in the bathroom before you walk in the bathroom. Okay, please use common sense. If you feel like the bathroom is crowded, please just wait right outside. Okay, and then as somebody exits, you can enter, please. Okay, so I think, yeah, the common sense rule definitely applies here. And then if we are unable to attend graduation, will there be a virtual option? That's a really good question. I don't know. I would assume anything that we do this year as far as graduation goes, and I know there's probably a lot of questions about what graduation will look like. Please know that we are exploring all options, including what we can do as a traditional on-campus graduation ceremony. Again, no promises, right? Because there's the ever-changing dynamic of what's going on with COVID and what our county health department says we can and cannot do. That changes sometimes daily, weekly. We're hoping things continue to improve, so we are exploring all options, including an on-site traditional graduation ceremony. Again, I can't promise that that's actually what's going to happen though, but that is my hope, I'm sure, as well as the rest of you seniors. The Screener 19 app, people had some questions about that as well. Right now, I believe it's not in its app form, but it's going to be more of a website that you access through your phone. So I've done it, I do it every day. All staff members have to do the Screener 19 app, or the process just as all students have to. I have made it a practice, although I wasn't great at it today, but I've made it, I'm attempting to make it my practice where every morning at breakfast, I fill it out. It literally takes about 30 seconds. And when I'm done, it shows my name, Alex Chapman, the date, and has a big green check, and it says you are safe to come to school. Please do that before you arrive, so that when you line up to go to your class, you're simply going to hold your phone out that shows your name and the date and what the that green check, and then you're able to enter the room. If you did something wrong, now please pay careful attention to the questions that are on that, because the questions say, have you been exposed? No. Have you experienced any of these symptoms? None of the above. Do you agree to follow all of the school's rules around COVID? Yes. So what we found is some people just go, no, 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 no. And then all of a sudden they've got a big red X. Oops, I made a mistake. I didn't read through it, carefully enough. So make sure you'll get used to it very, very quickly. If you do make a mistake, your teacher's just going to basically say, go see administration down in the community room. We'll be waiting for you. We'll look it up on our end and we'll clear you if you just said, oh, I just pressed the wrong button and made a mistake. No big deal. If you arrived to class and you haven't completed the Screener 19 clearance process, you just forgot, well, just take out your phone and just do it real fast. You don't have to go down to the attendance, or you don't have to go down to the community room to then be sent back up to class. Just simply do it really fast in the hallway or right outside your teacher's door. When it's clear, then you show them the green X and then they'll let you in. Yes, this campus is like a maze. I totally agree. It's going to be difficult to find classes. Everybody will be patient. Okay, no worries. Do we get rallies? Whew, that's a tough one. Rallies, and I don't know if Lily or Lindsay, if you've had any discussions around this as well. With rallies, we have a problem with rallies to begin with, because the size of our student population is larger than the occupancy of any building, including our large gym already. So we've already started to move towards different ways of holding rallies, whether that's outdoors or split rallies or things like that. So the idea of having 1,000 students packed into the seats in the gym for a rally seems like that doesn't seem really realistic to me right now. Maybe someday soon we can get there. If we do have any kind of rallies, I would assume they would all have to be outdoors so that we can really, utilize the fresh air and space.
Yeah, the only talk that's really been had on rallies in leadership would be, we're trying for an outdoor.
Yeah.
And I think that's, a good compromise to make given the situation.
Yeah, I know it's a different experience, right, to have a rally outdoors than in the gym with the lights out and the music bump. It's different, but we will try our best to give you an experience for a rally as best we can, following all the safety protocols. We talked about bathrooms. Can people come into 3B a month later than usual? There will be what they call onboarding opportunities, and this will all be pushed, to your parents and to you, the information about now's an opportunity. Maybe you chose to stay remote and now we're, X number of weeks into our 3B hybrid schedule. There might be another opportunity where you get an email that you can sign up to be on campus. For 3B, do I get to pick if I go Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday, or is it chosen for you? It is chosen for you. It is a huge, giant puzzle based on who has stated that they will be back on campus. And it's very difficult to try to divide it up. Every single room basically has a different occupancy based on the square footage of these rooms, as well as airflow. So at the district office level, they are determining who's in what cohort, and there is really no room for flexibility. So I apologize if you get put into a cohort that is different than your friends. Really what we try to help support is if obviously there are siblings, we don't want to put them in different cohorts. That would be very mean of us. And if there are some clear like carpooling situations, we'll also try to honor that as far as who goes in what cohort. The next question isn't really a question. It says the imposter is sus. I can only agree with that. And then finally, senior week graduation. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is still very much to be determined, right? Things are changing and we're trying to create opportunities that follow our health and safety guidelines, but also provide you the great experiences that I think you all deserve as seniors, which is a senior week and graduation. It just might look a little different than what we've done in past years, okay? But please know that we will follow the safety guidelines and then try to balance that out with creating an event that hopefully is really memorable for all of you. All right, so Lindsay or Lily, if there's anything else that you wanted to share about anything that I just answered, that was all of the questions.
I don't think there's anything else. This was just kind of meant to, make no promises like you mentioned, but, keep the good vibes going, I guess. I don't know how else to phrase it, but we're definitely here to support you. Feel free to reach out to us. If you have any ideas of an event that you think might fit COVID restrictions and it's something we could look into, totally. The more brain power, the better. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. I hope this was helpful. And I think that's it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see some of you guys tomorrow for 3A. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you, Lily, and thank you, Lindsay. And I hope to see as many of you tomorrow as possible.
Totally.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Do we leave this?
Oops.
All right, I ended the live stream and stopping the recording.